Well, hello, boys and girls. It's your favourite grumpy granny from Grogy's Patch. And I'm back again for one of my marvellous tutorials. Isn't that exciting? Well, I think so. I've had a few people reach out to me wanting to know how to make thank you cards. Well, it's not very hard, you know. And that's what I do. I make my own. You don't actually have to make your own. You can get them online, you know. But if you do want to be a little bit creative and make your own, I'll show you how I do mine. Mine are fairly basic. I like to keep them simple. And one of the reasons I make my own is because I live in a rural area. So it's not always easy for me to go and get stuff printed or go and find the right materials and things. So I just like to make something simple that I can just print out on my good old 30-year-old printer and just keep on printing every time I want one. So there you go. So make sure you watch till the end though, boys and girls, just in case there's a little surprise, because you never know what I'm going to do. All right, boys and girls, let's get into it. So I'm just going to assume that you have some sort of word processing software on your computer. I'm using Microsoft Word here because that's probably the most popular one. You can pretty much do this on any type of word processing software, so it's all very similar. But I'll show you what I do. The first thing I do is make a text box. So I choose Insert from the top menu, and then I go to Text Box, and then I say Draw a text box. And then I just go in here and I fill up about quarter of the page. And what I should do, I'll let that finish doing what it's doing. Right, there we go. Now, it's probably a good idea to go in and have your page set so that you can see the whole page. So go into your view and choose one page. And that way you can actually see how much room you've got on your page. So we can just make that a little bit bigger that way. So you're only going to make quarter of the page. Now, you can make your thank you cards any size you like. You could actually make them smaller than this so that you could say get 6 on a page. I do them like quarter A4, so I can fit 4 on every page that I do. Now, the next thing you want to do is go back home. So you want to just put a little bit of writing in here. So we're just going to go in here and go down a couple of lines, and then write what you want to write. So I just want to put a bit of a heading first. So I want to tell them to thank them, and I'm going to do this in capital letters. Thank you for being a Grogy's Patch customer with an exclamation mark. And I'm actually going to centre that, and then I'm going to make it bold, and then I'm going to increase the font size just so it's a little bit bigger than the other writing that I'm going to have on there. Okay, and then we're going to go down a line, and just remember we've increased the size already and we've made it bold. So this time I'm going to unbold it. I don't know whether unbold's a word, but you know, we'll just pretend that it is. Now I'm just going to have a line between the two things, and I'm going to say, I hope this parcel makes your day, comma, just as your purchase made mine. Go down a bit, another 2 lines, and then I'm going to write something like, if you're happy with your purchase, please leave positive feedback, as this really helps grow my store. If you're happy with your purchase, please, I'm just going to add in here, please follow my store and leave positive feedback, because this really helped grow my, and I'll change that just so it's not reading store twice. I'll change it to business, grow my business. Right, okay. So that's about all I'm going to put for in the big capital letters. Then I'm just going to change that from caps lock. And then I'm going to say, if you have any concerns, please don't hesitate to contact me. Right. So that's in essence what I'm going to put in there for the text. Now I'm going to have to make some of this a little bit smaller. Should be enough. And then I'm just going to go down the bottom and I'm going to put a line where I can sign it. Now I sign all my cards and I sign them just regards Leanne. If you don't want to sign it and you actually want to have it there, you could just put your name there, regards whatever your name's going to be, and you could do it in a nice scripty font to make it look like you've handwritten it, just to make it, you know, look or feel a little bit more like that. More room. Probably don't need quite as many lines there, so I can go down a bit further. Right, so I'm leaving a little bit of space up the top, and I'll show you why. So now I'm going to go back to eBay, and I am going to go into my eBay, back to our good old selling hub where we always go to. and I'm going to go to marketing, and I'm going to go to promotions. So there's two things you can do. You can actually put a QR code from your store, just a basic QR code, on your thank you card, or you could actually put one of your coupons, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm actually going to, go into one of my coupons, and I'm going to go print, and that will actually bring up the QR code and everything for your for that coupon. I'm going to take a snip of that QR code and the coupon code. I'm going to capture that or use the snipping tool in Windows. Then I'm going to go back to my document, and I'm going to insert pictures, picture from file, and if I go into recents, it should be there. Dad, I'll have to make it, I don't have to make it too much smaller, but we'll put it up here. Now we need to go there. Oh, there we go. Just go to center, and then I can see that I've got room back here. So I'm going to go back up, delete that couple of rows, which gets me back my line down the bottom. And that's all there is to it. So that's what I do, right? So then I've got that all in the little box. So what you need to do then is just click on the outside of the little box and go copy and click off the little box so that you're outside the text area, and paste, and that will bring up another one. Whoops, I want to move that. You want to move this. And bring it over and sit it beside. Now you can see here I'll have to adjust the position just a little bit, like so. And then you again paste, and then you can bring another one in, and then I paste again, and I bring my fourth one in. And then I have my 4 thank yous that will all fit on an A4 page. And I just use black text. You can do them coloured if you want, or whatever, and you can print them on either black and white paper. You can print them on just white paper, plain paper, or you can print them on an actual cardstock, which is what I do. I get a slot which is slightly thicker than A4 paper, because I just look a bit nicer that way. And then if I'm doing a book, some people might want to use that as a bookmark. So then you can just save your document. So we'll just go save, and we will say, oh, thanks, just give it whatever name you want and save. So there is your thank you card, all done. Now you can do whatever you want for this. If you don't like putting your QR code for your coupon in there, or you could just put the QR code from your store in there, or you could put some sort of clip art. If you have a logo, you might want to put that in there. So there's all sorts of things you could put in there. I just wanted to keep mine simple, and so that's the way I do it. That's all I do. So we'll just hop out of the computer and I'll come back to you. I'm just going to show you my thank you cards that I use. So I just buy this A4 cardstock from Kmart. There's 25 sheets in a pack. It's 200 GSM, so it's a nice weighted, like it's a decent weight of card without being too thick. And it's like $3 something, I think, a packet. So yeah, every time I go there I grab a couple of packets and stick them underneath so that I've got more. But I always seem to be running out more before I realise. So I've done it up so that I've got 4 on each sheet, so I have to cut them up, but I've got a guillotine to do that with, so I haven't got enough for today's post. Usually I like to print the whole packet and then cut them all up and sign them and stamp them. I really want to up how many listings I'm doing, so I'm only going to cut up enough of these for today because I want to get to my listing. Let's do the top of this one again because it didn't cut very straight. It's just, not that it really matters, but that's just my OCD working. And then all those little bits of paper and cardboard, they all go in the shredder. And that is my packing material for when I sell things like I have today, which is a glass paperweight, and I need packaging to go in them. I just sign these, regards Leanne, and I sign them in a green, using a green pen rather than a black pen, so that they can see that I have actually handwritten them. One of the reasons I started doing them this way is so that I could do a thank you card, but I couldn't afford to go to a printer's when I first started and get flash ones made up. But I quite like these, and my customers, a couple of customers have commented on them and they like them. So I've kept them, and they're inexpensive. I can do them as I need them, so I'm not actually having to outlay a whole heap of money to get other ones. And then on the shredder, I should say. Guillotines are really expensive, but if you keep an eye out, you never know, you might be able to pick one up off at a garage sale or a Facebook Marketplace. An old one like I've got. Look, I've had that, literally I've had that for probably 25 years. The blade badly needs sharpening, but it's still doing the job. So that's all there is to it, boys and girls. That's all I do. You can make them as fancy or as plain as you like, really. And you don't really need to even have Word, Microsoft Word. You could do it on the WordPad that comes with your computer. You could do it on Notepad if you're really stuck. The other thing you could do if you have a photocopier is you could actually, or a scanner, so you can scan it in and put it on your computer, is do a handwritten one, scan it in, make an image out of it, and then you can print that off. So there's all sorts of variations that you can do. I just wanted to keep mine fairly simple and have it so that every time I run out, I just need to go and put a bit more cardstock in and print it off again. So there you go. Well, thank you very much, boys and girls. I hope that has helped. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave a comment down the bottom. And I'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to my channel, like the video and subscribe to my channel. And while you're at it, jump on over to the Disgruntled Octopus's channel, because I do a weekly podcast with him and we would like to get some more subscriber numbers so that we can actually see that you like to watch us. How's that? We get plenty of views but not a lot of subscribers. So if you would subscribe, that would be great. Well, thank you, boys and girls. I am going to go now, and I will see you on the next one. Well, boys and girls, for those of you that were extra good and stayed and watched to the very end to see what the surprise was, you're probably wondering how I learned to sing Dirty Ditties. Well, I'm going to give you a rare little treat, because here's my dear old mum and a cousin, and they are singing away, and that is how I learnt. I hope you enjoy.
Balls of O'Leary are wrinkled and hairy, are wrinkled and hairy, like the dome of St. Paul's. The girls they all muster to look at this cluster, and they stand at